Welcome to Talkin Maine with the Bowtie Boy. I'm Tom Saviello, and I have my good friend Richard Corey on again as we continue our story about Wilton. I want to share with you, and I'm trying to remember, I was driving over, trying to remember who said it, but they said that they love when you come on the show and talk about Wilton.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that somebody likes it out there, and I love to pass on the history and the information.
It may be our only groupie that's out there, but no, seriously, people have said that they enjoy some of these history stuff, and particularly about Wilton. I really don't care about them. I love it because the show flies by. So let's get started. Where are we now?
Okay, let's head down to McGillicuddy's Park.
Oh, McGillicuddy's Park. That's right there across from the old hardware store.
That is correct. Now, first of all, why McGillicuddy's Park?
Yes.
There's they named it after a gentleman. His name was John McGillicuddy, and he died several years ago, and he was a blind man. And he lived in Wilton. I believe he born and lived in Wilton all his life. He became blind at later on in teenage years or something like that. I don't know if I have the story quite right, but anyway, John was a dispatcher for the town of Wilton and stuff like that. So, and a unique thing that he could do as a blind person, he caned chairs.
Oh, no kidding.
Chairs. Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Can you imagine that?
I cannot. I have both my eyesight, and I'm very fortunate. I cannot cane chairs. Yeah. I have tried, and I did two, and I'm never doing them again.
Well, I just thought we'd give some background to McGillicuddy's Park and stuff. So here, we'll probably have our first picture up there.
Okay.
As far as when
first
he brings
picture
that
coming up. And we're coming, I think. There we are. So he's got the old bass shoes thing. Yeah.
Yes, so McGillicuddy's Park, we know that there was buildings in this region of Wilton, that little narrow area right across from the old Wilton hardware store and just right across from the existing post office. There was a building there that would be predate 1861.
Wow. And
during that time it was a Mason's Lodge. Oh. And then a little bit later, in 1887, G.H. Bass came and moved to this location. Now, this was his second store. He started his operations in downtown Wilton, near where mainly Scuba is.
Yep.
There was a building there. It's long gone because that was destroyed in a fire of 1893. However, that's where Bass started his business, was right there on Main Street. It outgrew that, basically, and then actually moved down to this location. And this is the location where they could utilize water power for cutting and stitching and stuff like that.
Because Wilson Stream is right behind it. So this these are where they kind of cantilevered over the brook, or was there enough?
Yeah, it was abutted right up to it. I think we'll see some pictures a little bit later on that. But and there was actually some blacksmith shops here. The building way down to the very end is a blacksmith shop. And reading some historical accounts as far as this lady, an old lady that she lived to be well over 100, 103, 104. Her Edith Green, I believe her name was, and she recalls as far as having socials in the upstairs of the blacksmith shop, having dances and meetings and stuff up there. So that's a little bit of the history. Now Bass's G.H. Bass was doing shoes, and I know this is a question for you. What part of the body did they cover earlier? Some of his uncles and stuff like that was manufacturing things in Wilton much earlier than that, but they were manufacturing something else.
Aprons?
Hats, remember?
Hats. Oh, the hattery.
Seth Batch had a hattery store right there in downtown. So when G.H. Bass came into business, whatever, he said, well, he's going to clothe the other part of the body instead of the head.
Head to toe.
Head to toe. Isn't that kind of a cute thing?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess we could probably go to the next slide.
This is kind of showing the backs of those buildings.
Yeah, the backs down on the right there, and then we're looking right down towards I call monument, around the monument and stuff. And this is a picture in 1901. And some of the buildings that we see way off in the distance, Tom, you see the small building that right in through here. You see that one there? That is actually where the sawmill was. And that's where G.H. Bass came in 1904 and built the factory that's there today. And here we have all of Main Street here on the right that you can see, starting at the very, very beginning right in there would be where the the Chinese
Monument.
restaurant
Yep.
is, and then coming right down through, and you can kind of see the steeple of the Congregational Church
on the
there.
right.
Yeah, so
And then the little building across the footbridge there, that's not the same now, but that's where Ron Hazeltine's building,
that is
Sewell's building used to be.
that is correct. And then we can see way in the distance to the left of the what I refer to as a sawmill is an old grist mill that was constructed there in 1899. So here again, as far as I have my looking at pictures, I say what's in the picture and what's not, and I know the dates of what things, so I can say that this picture was between 1899 and 1912, because 1912 the Civil War monument is not there yet. So.
Wow.
I
You
thought
see,
that was,
you can see how the building was cantilevered over the brook.
Yep.
Too. Yeah.
and then and the next page here, we got a nice map here of it's a Beers 1861. No, a Wallings 1861 wall hanging map, and this is an inset of Wilton. And you can kind of see, we'll probably blow up a little later on as far as the area where the park is down here. You see the blacksmith stuff, and we're going to really kind of look around the area around the Food City area was just amazing with a mill pond and things like that. You can see the diversion there of the water from the mainstream. There was a diversion dam right there,
and so it's kind of going this way from the lake.
Yeah, and then you can actually see the main channel, and then you see how it's actually cut off up downstream from the park. You can kind of see where there's another channel to the left there, smaller channel that operated a lot of the mills and smaller mills that was located right across from the Methodist Church. And so these, this is a good record of some of the mills that were here. The directory there states who owns them and stuff like that. I believe these were not all the manufacturings that were there in Wilton at the time. I think there was more. I think that this list is probably, they had to pay to be on this list. So if you didn't pay, you probably wasn't featured as highly as this. So I'm assuming that. But
interesting. This map is actually at the Historical Society.
Yes, yes. It's a big wall hanging map, and there's one in Casileos too. So we'll take the next picture.
This is now looking at the woolen mill.
Yes. Yeah, this is a kind of a unique picture here. It's almost a panoramic view. You can kind of see the two different tones in the pictures where we kind of spliced them together. I had my son in Photoshop place these two together. But they really do, and we're going to have a next slide. It's going to really show the mill pond more. But that, you can look away in the distance there, Tom. You can kind of see on this photo up here, you can see the village view up there where it's all cleared, and you can kind of see a square area of a stone wall up there. I believe that's what we would call a night pasture. You know, basically people would put their animals there during the nighttime. And then you can see all the various buildings down. To the right of this picture, you can actually see the long buildings that are there. That would be where the McGillicuddy Park is located now, and where G.H. Bass used to be. Now here we have a blow up of the dam, the mill pond itself. Now this was situated right where Food City is, this big large building. And then you can kind of see this building here is the auto body shop and the old shoe shop that is still there today. So the water kind of veered off underneath in between those buildings there and back out to the main channel.
Wow. That's what we were talking before, was the Dugway or
dugout,
dugout, and that's their parking lot.
Yep.
That's correct.
Okay, I think we'll take the next one. Now we have a Sanborn insurance map. This is a view of the area that we're talking about, around the Food City area and the Children's Play Museum. Fire insurance maps of 1917. Now these were made for an insurance company and basically record the location of the houses very appropriately, and then it would show what kind of buildings it had for, like a roof, what type of tin, shingles and stuff like that, all things for insurance purposes and stuff. But this is really gives us a good outlay, and you can see way down at the very bottom of the picture, you can see the continuous buildings on the left of the stream is where the J.H. Bass building is, and the
McGillicuddy Park right there.
McGillicuddy Park, and then going further up, you would see the big Mill Pond Dam, and then Mill Pond, and then we see the buildings surrounding that was the buildings that we saw previously in an earlier picture, and then you can kind of see the other channel, a man-made channel that would go behind the Children's Museum and go down through there and supply water power for the other mills in that area. And you can see it's quite a distance away from the main channel. All right, I think we'll take the next slide.
Yeah. This is the dam.
Yeah, this is the dam. You can see this would be probably a late summer, probably August picture because the stream bed's dry. You know, and you got to think there's all that water is being diverted into that large mill pond dam that was there that we've seen previously. But you can kind of see the building off to the left is just a small glimpse of the woolen mill that was located there.
So this is headed towards East Wilton.
That's correct.
And it's at the end of McGillicuddy Park. There was a dam that went across there.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a better picture, and we're going to see one next, we're going to see a better view of it.
Wow.
This next picture here we'll see is a great photograph facing downstream of McGillicuddy's Park. We're looking over way in the distance of Wilson Academy, Wilton Academy. And you can kind of see there's okay, I can tell from this picture, Tom, that you see the addition on the back of the Academy?
Yeah.
We know that's post 1890 picture.
Wow.
So these are another hints that I have on the things. And here we have, you can kind of see the picture, the house. You see the big building on the left, the woolen mill, and then there's another building to the right. It's a residential house. That is the house that's currently there. That's 530 Main Street, right on the corner of Sewell and Main, right across from the fire station. Now, I don't have any early pictures of the fire station, but I did a little research. The firehouse did not get constructed there until sometime in the 20s.
Wow. Wow.
So.
Wow.
And then, and we'll take the next picture here.
Wow.
Now, so this is, we know that Goodspeeds actually bought this mill in probably right around 1890. He bought it from the Walker family. The Walker family was in the woolen business for quite some years, and they actually owned and operated the mill that was behind Shelley's hometown market that was really constructed there in 1840. This is probably, you know, soon after he bought it, is still operating as a woolen mill. You can kind of see the piles of wood that's out front. We have other views of it at the museum of big piles of wood that was right by where the firehouse is. But this is a great picture. And then you can kind of see this is pre-1903 because we don't see the Central School in the background. The Central School, or some people call it the Green School. But this is kind of neat. Looking in the background, see the hills up back there, and see the smokestack. I just see a little cow beside that.
See that?
There's another one coming up that was kind of cool like that. But here we have just a massive amount of buildings now. Early on, I think there was construction was in this area probably in the 1830s. There was a yarn factory here at some level. I have no pictures of this, but this was a site of many operations even before. We believe this building was probably built right prior to the Civil War.
Wow. And there's nothing there now, is there?
Well, this is where the Food City is.
Oh, it's where Food City.
Food City. Remember, this is 530. And actually, I remember going into that house as a kid. Dr. Colley. Dr. Colley. I remember going there as a kid, and he was
it's the old blue house. It's there. It's in terrible shape.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll take our next picture here. Okay. Here we have we have Central School in the background. You're probably familiar with that. Did they call it Central or Green School?
No, it was gone by the time we got here. I got
really?
here in 1991. It was gone.
It was gone. They had already dismantled it. Okay. So that was...
That's in this background.
In the background, you can kind of see that. And then we got 2 lone cows up on the hill there again, stuff like that. So this is... Yep. And I believe the Central School, if I remember correctly, was, I think when it was built, it was like $30,000. It was, to purchase, to have that built. But here it's kind of, this is a fully functioning mill at this time. And then we're going to see it change over time a little bit, because it was just about this time in 1903, 1904, when Goodspeed started to make the mills down in Dryden, down the woolen mills down there. That's when he started the operations down there, and over the next 20, 30 years, did subsequent expansions down there. So this one stopped functioning ultimately as a woolen mill. And then we'll see the next slide. Here. Yes, this is probably a 1930 view, 1930-ish view of the buildings that was located right there at the Food City area lot. Yeah. We do know that Goodspeed was very generous to the town. He actually, in 1934, he spent $32,000 to remodel the old woolen mill, and he gave it to the town as a community building. Wow! And he actually started programs for lower grades to high school in the basketball, volleyball, archery, and the rifle club, and boxing even. Wow. And this is the very beginning of the swimming program. Now he hired a man named Harold Collins, who was a 1922 graduate of Wilton Academy, and to serve as the first kind of director, you know,
like
sort of like almost like how Frank Donald's position is now. So, and then his wife Dorothy was very instrumental in starting the very good swim program that was there for years. And my mother graduated from the East Wilton School, behind the East Wilton church there, and my mother states that she had a 8th grade graduation in this building in an auditorium. No, there was like a basketball court up there that they used upstairs.
The swimming program, did they swim in the lagoon that was in the back, or?
No, I think they right out there by Bass Park.
Okay.
I actually,
so they went
in the
back
60s.
to the lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so I think that's just it's really neat there. We'll go to the next one.
Yeah. So this is where Food City is right now.
That is correct.
It's an old Wilton Theater. Wow.
Yeah, you can kind of see. All right, to give you some perspectives as far as where we are, you look at the corner of this building right here. That's the post office.
Okay. Yeah.
That is the post office. So just imagine that is situated. Those buildings are situated in the parking lot, and the store.
And they're all gone.
They're all gone now. Yeah. And you can see the roof in the background. That is the auto body shop, former auto body shop and shoe shop in background that's still existing there now. Wow. So then,
I know exactly where you are. Jeff Chaston owns that building now.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, yeah, and here we have the Wilton Theater. Yeah, you know, there's many people that can't believe that there was a movie theater here.
And a bowling alley.
Yeah, bowling alley. We'll see that in a minute here. So, you know, cool. I know I share a lot of these pictures on Facebook and stuff, and I know that they have comments for different people. And I think Bill Rolfe commented that his brother, Mike, ran the projector here. Oh, okay. And also there's many people that said, I saw my first movie there. I know Brad Adams has said that he did saw a movie there. And then Eileen Adams, former SLEC person, she said she remembers seeing Bambi there.
Oh, no kidding.
So that was kind of, it evokes a lot of memories for some people. Wow. You know, and so then the next picture we have is the post office. We know that the post office was constructed there in right around 1960. And what was the sitting senator that came and helped out with the dedication for this one?
In 1960. Margaret Chase Smith?
You're right. Yep. I was trying to think of who the other sitting senator would have been during that time, and I can't think of it. But anyway, but we know that Margaret Chase Smith, and she was nominated for president for that. And then we'll have a next picture here.
Now we're back to McGillicuddy Park. Oh, so that's
or maybe as far as, let's see the next one. I think we might have a picture of
the Shop and Save.
Shop and Save. Okay,
that was Food City.
Food City. That was Food City. That was constructed right around 1960, and I said, why? I think probably there was pressure to have a grocery store in town because that was the time that the town hall and the red and white store where the bank is down by Monument Square, around the monument, burnt. And so thus leaving Wilton without a larger grocery store. So here we'll go the next one here. Back at these are the buildings that were located at McGillicuddy Park.
Yeah.
And we'd be kind of facing from, if we were entering the existing post office, we would look out and look up a little bit, and those buildings would have been right there. And we can see the bowling alley sign there, and we're going to see some pictures of the bowling alley inside just in a minute or so. So we'll take the next picture, please.
Next one.
All right, there's several pictures of some floods here. And here's a 1956. Well, no, here's another picture. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. It just shows the dam and how narrow that is there, how that factory was there. When G.H. Bass moved to this location, his daughter, Elizabeth, would go down to the shop there, and she stated she always loved to fish out of the back window. So you can kind of see how that would overlook the river there. So we'll take the next picture.
That's the bowling alley. Oh, next picture.
Some more. 1953 floods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just a massive thing. We're looking up towards the Congregational Church and stuff like that. And we'll take the next one. We'll just have a series of floods. Now, and here we're looking downstream. We can see the McGillicuddy Park. There's like several historic floods. There's the flood of 1936, 1953, and of course the 87 flood. And I'm not sure which one was the most dramatic flood. So we'll take a next picture, please.
The bowling alley.
Bowling alley. So we did see the some pictures earlier than that that showed the sign above it. So this was the bowling alley right here. It's hard to believe that there was a bowling alley. And we'll take the next picture.
Shows the guys watching, the pin setters.
Now, Herbie Austin says he remembers setting up pins in here.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that was really neat. I shared this photo with him, and he says, yeah, I remember setting up pins. Can you imagine having that for a job? Candles, pins. All right, we'll take a next picture, I guess.
Wilton Hardware, the old hardware store.
Yes, this is right where it used to be located, right across, right next to the post office. And I guess the name Wilton Hardware is, for the information that I've gathered so far, was established in probably around 1953 when Nick Craig purchased the business from the Sewell family. And we know Calvin Sewell's grandfather was Nathan Willis Sewell. And he opened the store in the 1890s, and we do know that there's a sign in the existing Wilton hardware store. If you go in there and look up on the top there, he's got a wooden sign up there that says N.W. Sewell on the wall. Kidding. So that's kind of really very cool.
We got about 5 minutes.
Yep. All right, we'll take the next one. The previous location, what was at the Wilton Hardware store location was this building before that. And it was a J.D. Fernald's furniture factory. And they made caskets and coffins. And the newspaper account stated that they were one of the largest suppliers of caskets to Franklin County.
Wow.
Now, this is right where the hardware store, there's the old coffee shop that's not in operation anymore. But isn't it kind of neat?
Yeah, it's neat.
Yep. All right, and then we'll take our next one. Tom, you know where that picture is?
Well, wouldn't the library be on the right-hand side now?
Now, yeah. There was a house that was right at the library location. And this house, the picture here, was the Goodspeed's house.
Okay, yep.
And we do know that the Goodspeeds actually lived there. We got some pictures of their sons out on the yard there, and they moved this. There's one source that says they moved this house to across from Kennewatha Park. Now, I thought that might be Ken and Terry Sawyer's house. It looks very similar, but the roof is not the same. So whether they did major changes or not, I'm not sure. But we do know that the Goodspeeds actually moved up on the hill and built the big estate that's on Village View now. So I think we can probably go to the next slide.
Yeah, this is the Congregational Church.
Or maybe we did just the view of the
library.
The library, yeah. And that was the Goodspeeds gave money to establish a library there, and we're thankful for them. And we will got maybe we'll just look at the next picture of the Congo Church. We knew okay, this is actually the.
That's Congo. The Methodist Church would be on the back of it.
Well, that's a good. Okay. No, this is a good question. This is actually the Methodist Church, Tom.
Oh, no
kidding. In 1905, they actually changed that center column and actually put it onto the side. You can kind of look to see where the side is there. Yeah, that's very common. So that was how it is today. But that was the.
No kidding. And so there was a school district too for a while.
Yes, that was a school building right there. And let's just do the next one here. I think we've got two more minutes, right?
2 minutes, yep.
All right. Where's that building?
All right, wait, I got to get to the picture.
No, well, this picture actually, Tom, would be, let's say if you're behind the Franklin County Savings Bank and was looking towards the road and looking towards a parking lot of Methodist Church.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That is the school building that was there. That was the first Legion Hall, and this was a school building, and this was used up until 1903, until they built the Central School. So, and then we got maybe we can end on this next picture, and this is a picture of it.
Wow!
Right there in the parking lot of the Methodist Church. This was the school.
Was the school. No kidding. So I guess you're going to have to come back to finish this story. Or we're pretty close.
Well,
we got one more slide. Quick, one more.
Yeah.
We got one more. Yeah,
okay.
One more. We're going to do it.
Okay.
Just the last slide.
Okay. I just thought there was the tannery.
Oh.
And this was a building right across from Norm's Redemption Center, and you can kind of this is well, it is a tannery. I guess I got the it's a tannery, and it's a picture of the wintertime view right across from.
No kidding.
Right across from Norm's.
Perfect.
So,
thank you.
Well, that was a little rushed, but we got some in, and we got a lot of information to share. And
You'll come back again.
We sure will there, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good, very good, very good. Thanks for tuning in to Talkin Maine. We'll see you next time as we continue our saga about the town of Wilton, East Wilton, and around. See ya.